That's my version of the chicken dance. Okay, I've been trying to make this video for a while. and I'm just being so fussy with it. So anyways, here we go. Hi, this is Maria, and it's been a while since I've made a craft video, so I was really excited to share this with you guys. A few months ago, I was at the thrift store and I found this. And I've since learned that they're called dessert pedestals. So basically, it's just a bunch of dishes and cups, just an eclectic collection of dishes, cups, teapot, and flower pots. You can see the flower pots there. You can see how strong it's made. And so I'm going to show you right now how to make your own. Okay, so here are the things you're going to need. You're going to need some old dishes. They don't even need to be that old, just something you want to recycle. And you're going to need a measuring tape, any kind of measuring tape, a ruler, a yardstick, anything, just so you have something to measure with. Some Q-tips, a pencil, some glue, E6000 glue. Make sure it's clear. It says right up here at the top. I use a piece of aluminum foil to set my glue because it tends to drip. And also a washcloth because you're going to wet that and you're going to use that to clean up the edges where the glue may ooze out. You want to make sure you wash all your dishes. And I put them in soapy water and make sure you take all the tags off. Another thing you want to do with your plates when you're in the thrift store is, so you want to run your finger around the inside on the bottom of the plate and all the way around on the outside, because then you can feel like if there's any chips. Same with your cups. Run your finger around the top, the bottom here, although it won't really matter here as much because you'll probably be gluing there. And also here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to start to build it, to see how I'm going to want to display it. So I'm going to put this teacup down with the handle going this way. And by the way, everything here matches. It just so happens that on one of my first trips to the thrift store where when I decided to buy these, I found this whole set of dishes. It's kind of fun to use eclectic pieces, which you'll see in my video with the samples, and just sort of fun to try to match things up by color. Anyways, you see I have the handle going the other way, and then I'm going to put the saucer up on top. Here's the sugar bowl, and I'm going to put the sugar bowl here. And I decided not to use the lid. Once you start stacking it up, and after you've measured and everything, you can set it up somewhere high and just rotate it slowly just to make sure it's as perfect as possible. I hate to use that word perfect because it's not going to be perfect, but you want to get it close to that so it's not lopsided like the one I showed you. So here you can see the plate is clean. I've washed my plates and dried them, and I usually do that all at one time. I'll take all the dishes that I have and put them in the sink with soapy water and get all the little tags off. So I'm going to put my cup here. I'm going to take my pencil but first we're going to measure, okay? So I'm going to measure this way. It's about 3.5 inches there. 3.5 inches. So you can sort of eyeball it, but I like to measure to see how close. Wow, that was pretty good. Maybe I've made quite a few already. Almost 3.5. And so you just keep going back and forth. Just make sure, you know, and careful when you do that because sometimes you move the cup or whatever you're using. So that's pretty close. And so what I'm going to do now is take my pencil, and you don't have to use a pencil. Some of my early ones I didn't, and I just sort of eyeballed it, and then I just started using a pencil. And if the plate is a light color, you can see it. So okay, so I'm going to take this glue, just gently squeezing, and I like to be generous with the glue. I can always clean up. And it starts setting pretty quickly, although if you need to move it around, you can do that too. Just wipe up after it with your wet cloth. Okay? But once this dries, it really dries. Also, once they're dried and you start using them, you don't want to put them through the dishwasher. You don't want to run that risk of them falling apart, you know, with the hot water. But you can just, you know, wipe them off, clean them gently. Okay, so I'm looking at the pencil mark there, and also, you know, you're looking down, and there you go. That's it. That's it. You can see the glue. is starting to come out from the edges. So this is a couple of things what I did. You can take a Q-tip and go around the edge if you want. Maybe you'll find another way. And if you do, let me know what you do. I always like things that make my life easier. And then I've got the wet cloth here, little wet towel, and I'm just gonna go around the edge here. I think it's like 24 hours to dry, to set, and but you know what? I just let them set for a couple of days. So there you go. So this is your first one. And so if I wasn't making this video, this is what I would do. You can set books, a couple of books on top, and just let it sit there and dry. You might even just let it sit there for not even 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, and you'll be busy doing other stuff, making other ones maybe, or doing something else, and then you can come back to it. This one's easy. You're just going to put the glue around the rim here. You could put a little bit in here, but you really don't need to, because the plate, I don't think, is even going to settle in that. So, won't even touch it. But anyway, so there you go. You see, I'm kind of a glue person. Also, with this glue, E6000, which I've mentioned in some of my other videos, you want to make sure you work in a well-ventilated area. It's a really strong glue. And so, even if you could work outside on your patio, would even be better. So, I'm just sort of going to set that down like that, okay? And I'm going to sort of eyeball that and go around, make sure, hello, if it's even. And actually, I can look down and it kind of looks even to me, but just for grins and giggles, I'm going to take it over to my kitchen counter and rotate it just like I did right here in front of the camera for you, just to be certain. I'll be right back. I'm back. It was off just a little bit, and what I do too is I lift it up and I'll look underneath, and you'll be able to sort of get an idea too, and to make sure it sort of looks even around the edges, the width underneath. So there you go. And you know what? That would look really cute even just like that, because you could put candy down here, you could put candy up here, cupcakes, whatever you want. So this one has the handle on this side, so I'm going to put this on the opposite side. If you wanted to, you could even do that. I'm going to stick with doing this, okay? And so this one looks a little easier because the plate is smaller. But I'm going to measure anyways. Okay, that looks good right there. So I'm going to take my pencil again, and I'm just going to do this. You want to make sure your pencil is sharp. And so there's that line again. And so that makes it really easy to follow. And I'm just going to go ahead again and put glue around the edges. I've had so much fun making these. I mean, I was going to the thrift store, I want to say almost every day, so let's say maybe about 3 or 4 times a week. And I would get so excited when I would find, especially Christmas dishes. So super easy, right? So I'm going to even look to see where this handle is. And you don't even have to use the Q-tips if you don't want. I just do it. Everyone finds their own little methods, I think, you know. And you can see the plate is moving around, and that's why it's good to let it dry. And this way it's easier to work with. The next step is I'm taking the saucer. Don't you just love these stripes with these flowers here? And so anyways, I'm going to go ahead and glue the top edge of this cup. Okay, I'm looking down over it, and so you can sort of see how it's lined up. Okay, so now we have the sugar bowl, and I'm going to put the glue around the edge. This is nice because see how it's got a nice little wide flat edge. Some of the edges, like even with a cup, is not so wide, but believe me, it will even stick, and you won't have a problem with it. Okay, so we have the glue here, and I'm just going to set this down. And that's it. So there you have it. It's that simple, and you can make one too.